Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a glimpse into the past of South Korea. Here we're getting to see Korean life during the mid-1900s, a time when radical change and progression helped pave the way for the modern country it is today. There's so much that could be covered during this historical period, but if we want to get a deeper, more traditional understanding of Korean culture, we will need to go back in time. You heard right, back in time, to the long reign of the Joseon Dynasty. Together, let's explore, connect, and celebrate South Korea's history at Gyeongbokgung Palace.
As the largest of the 5 grand palaces, Gyeongbokgung Palace is one of the most iconic attractions in South Korea. Established in 1395 during the founding of the Joseon Dynasty, it served as Korea's center of power until 1592. Throughout its existence, the palace has seen times of great peace and intense conflict, and was even almost completely destroyed and rebuilt on more than one occasion. But today, Gyeongbokgung Palace stands strong and is a symbol of national pride. Once you enter into the palace, you'll most likely want to start snapping photos, but I would first suggest heading straight to the ticket booth to purchase a ticket, as there will be a line. A ticket for one adult into Gyeongbokgung Palace is just 3,000 won, or about $3. There's also a package deal for 10,000 won, which allows you to enter into all 5 of the palaces. Once you have your ticket, walk through the Hongnaemun Gate and be teleported back in time to the Joseon Dynasty. You have free reign to explore all of the different buildings, passageways, and gardens, so take your time and leisurely stroll through the palace grounds. Each of the different halls you'll encounter were used by different members of the royal family. But of course, none were more spectacular than Gunjeongjeon. This was the throne hall, where the king would lead important gatherings and other major events. The architecture and colorful decorations throughout the hall are incredible, and I can only imagine how extravagant events must have appeared hundreds of years ago. As I stood there and people watched, I couldn't help but feel completely immersed into the past. Not that I had a problem with that, but as you look out into the vast space of the palace, people both young and old, leisurely walking in traditional Korean garments known as hanbok, you can't help but feel as though this is what people hundreds of years ago must have been seeing. Of course, I'm not talking about the massive hordes of tourists everywhere, but simply the movement of people in traditional Korean clothing adds a unique and significant layer to the experience. If you're interested in wearing hanbok, you can rent your own garment at any of the hanbok rental shops near the palace. The shops are just outside the palace walls, so you won't have any trouble finding them. Just walk into a shop, pick the hanbok that suits you best, pay, and you're on your way. An added benefit to renting hanbok is that you won't have to pay entrance fees into the grand palaces, and you can wear the garment for the entire day. Aside from getting a glimpse into what royal life was in old Korea, you'll also be able to get a feel for what home life was for most Koreans during this period. Oftentimes exhibits like this only allow you to view displays from the outside, but you can actually walk right into this house, go through the rooms, the backyard, animal stables. It's the full experience. keep in mind that Gyeongbokgung Palace is only one of 5 grand palaces in Seoul. That being said, I would recommend spreading exploration of each palace over the course of 2 to 3 days so that you can rest and not feel rushed. A few things to keep in mind before visiting Gyeongbokgung Palace. They're closed on Tuesdays, so plan accordingly. Hours of operation can change slightly dependent upon the seasons, so check online to see when they'll be open. They also don't allow visitors to enter the palace 1 hour before its closing time, as it typically takes more than an hour to explore a site. So come well before closing so that you can explore at a leisurely pace. Once you've exited the palace, I would highly recommend taking the opportunity to also check out Bukchon Hanok Village, which is within walking distance of the palace. Here you can enjoy the charming architecture of hundreds of traditional wooden Korean homes called Hanok, which date back to the Joseon dynasty. You can also check out some of the village's restaurants, tea houses, cultural centers, and enjoy limitless photo ops. The village is a unique part of Korea and it tends to see a lot of visitors throughout the year. If you have the opportunity to visit, go during the early mornings on weekdays to avoid larger crowds. But most importantly, to get the most out of your time here, visit Bukchon Cultural Center to learn where you can find the best shops, tea houses, restaurants, and seminars, activities. There's a lot going on. As I strode through the village, I passed by several interesting tea houses, so eventually my curiosity got the best of me and I stopped in to see what the experience would be like. Tea options come in either hot or cold, so it's a great experience for any season. I tried sikhae, which is a traditional Korean sweet tea made from cooked rice and barley malt powder. It was a warm day, so I really appreciated the cold tea option. For just 6,000 won, about $5 US, I was able to get off my feet, cool off a bit with a delicious tea, and enjoy the tea house. If you have the opportunity to visit Seoul, I hope that you're able to explore Gyeongbokgung Palace and Bukchon Hanok Village, as they are incredibly unique experiences. You're not only shown Korean culture, but encouraged to participate in it, which makes the connection that much more personal and memorable. What are your thoughts on these sites? Would you wear hanbok to these places? Do you have a favorite Korean tea that maybe I should try? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And thanks for watching as I explore, connect with, and celebrate South Korea.